We've been doing our research on you, Nico. So we've been searching, the most interesting stories. We're going to start at perhaps the most intriguing one, and I didn't actually know about this until we started looking into you. So I'm going to read an excerpt that we found from the Express UK paper, dated February 8th, 1990, and it reads: Gerry Francis, Bristol Rovers manager, ended up in a police station in the early hours of yesterday after an alleged punch-up with one of his players. Police were called to the Post House Hotel at Heathrow, where the team coach had stopped just before midnight to celebrate a victory at nearby Brentford. Former England skipper Francis and his New Zealand international winger Paul Nixon were involved in a row. Nixon, 27, had been asked to help with the team baggage, but refused after being dropped for the game. He claimed that Francis, 28, struck him, and both men went to West Drayton Police Station. Now, to put that in a little bit of context, I've been trying to think of a current day analogy, because Gerry Francis was a year older than you at the time, and he was a former England captain. So I think the equivalent might be someone like Tim Payne going from the National League here in New Zealand to Derby last year in the Championship, managed by Frank Lampard, former England captain, and getting dropped for a game, getting asked to do some sort of team duties, refusing, and then getting in a punch-up with Lampard. So it was back page news across all the big papers in England, from what I understand. Would love your perspective and what happened. Talk us through it.
Well, thank you for inviting me onto your podcast. Let's go back 30 years. All right, now it's funny enough, I've been invited back to Bristol Rovers for their anniversary after 30 years of going to Wembley.
Is Gerry going to be there?
Yes, so this happens in March of next year, so I'm going back for it. But going back 30 years to that event is it's not one I'm proud of, and I'm quite lucky that I actually got out of it and still had my pro contract on me. The story behind it was Gerry had just signed a new striker from Stoke City. Can't remember his name. And he made his debut in the League Cup. I think it was a League Cup game. And I got dropped. And I was disappointed. Not that I got dropped, but he didn't tell me I was dropped. He named the team.
Wow.
And I wasn't in it. So I was very upset by that, so I found a pub and I had a few drinks and I watched the game.
When you found it, so you weren't on.
You weren't even in the team sheet.
No, I wasn't on the team sheet.
Was it home game or away game?
Away game.
So you've travelled with the team.
Yeah, I've travelled with the team.
Found out you're not in the squad.
Yeah,
and then I'm off.
I've gone to the local pub because there was another lad that travelled with me, and Pete Corley, who was ex-commando in the army, but he got released early for some indiscretion, and he turned out to be a pro footballer later on in life. So he was from London, and we went to a pub just outside the ground, and I got well oiled, went back, watched the game, went into the changing rooms after the game. I didn't say anything other than when Gerry approached me and told me I had to pick up the kit, and I said, I ain't picking up the kit, and I just walked out. So the boys were a bit shocked by that, and so nobody used to say no to Gerry, and I respected him at the time, but I just thought he was out of order and making me pick up the kit in front of people. So I just went on the bus, and in them days we used to stop at the fish and chip shop and get our fish and chips on the way home. So we did that, and so we're all eating fish and chips, and I'm at the back with the lads having a few beers because we all drank on the return journeys in them days. And Gerry came down the bus, and he said, Paul, I need to speak with you about you not picking the kid up. And I said, oh, just leave me alone, Gerry, get lost.
Yeah, straight. He's walked down to the back of the bus.
Yeah.
Rookie era.
So
into the Lions den.
So everybody's just looked at me and gone, Nico, you didn't say that, did you? And I went, look, I'm upset. So we're driving along the bus, and then the driver said, listen up, Gerry's got something to say. So we got on the speaker and he said, we're pulling into the next service station. Everybody on the bus needs to leave it. Nico, you stay on the bus. Now, in them days, we had press on the bus.
Oh, right.
So the press were on the bus.
Like the local rag?
Yeah. So even he left, and we had I found out afterwards, we had our PFA representative, Jeff Twentyman, the son of the great Twentyman from Liverpool.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. And so, but he didn't want the confrontation with Gerry, so he got off the bus. So Gerry came down to where I was sitting, and he started talking to me, and I just said, look, Gerry, maybe I was out of order what I said, but you're bang out of order not telling me that I'm getting dropped. You should have come up and told me. Well, as soon as I said that, he hit me. So I had to jump on him.
Defend yourself.
Yeah. So
this is still on the bus.
On the bus. So we've had a bit of a bear hug and all this and that, and then I've gotten up and I've walked off the bus and I'm all ruffled up, and the physio came up to me and he went, Paul, what's happened? I said, well, Gerry's just come and hit me. And he went, oh, that's out of order. And I went, oh, bloody hell, get the police here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So somebody phoned for the police. The police came, and I thought, oh my goodness, what have we done? So the police arrested me and Gerry because we both had conflicting stories.
Yeah, but you did.
Was his story that you swung first?
Yeah, well, yes.
Yeah.
So, did you get an in on him though? Did you land a couple?
I might have hugged him.
Yeah, right. Gotcha.
What was it? What was a 27-year-old Nico like in the scrapping department? Could you look after yourself?
Mean streets of Gisborne, probably. Yeah.
Look, I wasn't frightened of him, but I was in the situation. I was like, oh my God, how can I be fighting with my team manager on a football bus? It was crazy.
Which is why I think the analogy is important, to put it into perspective. If it was a Tim Payne type character going to play for a Lampard, because he was a year older than you, but he was a England skipper. He was only 28.
Yeah, how's that?
38. Gerry was 38.
There you go.
Paper's got it wrong.
Yeah.
Can't trust
Was it
it.
28? No,
Said he was only a year older than you in the
No,
clubbing.
Gerry was 38.
That's the thing, Nico. Don't trust the media, and that's where Stephen operates.
No, he'd been manager at Bristol Rovers for two years.
Yeah, right. But regardless, you've gone over. This is your first or second year at Bristol.
Yeah, it's within 6-7 months of me signing.
So you've gone from Gisborne as a semi-pro, whatever you were in New Zealand, to the second tier of English football.
Yeah.
And you've got the confidence in yourself to be dropped and to tell the coach to fuck off and to fight him on the where does that backbone come from? Is that just something that you've always had?
Well summarised, Steve.
It's followed me, I think, since the age of 5. When if I think somebody's done a wrong to me, I'll stand up and confront it, and then think about the consequences afterwards. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it really backfires. I think in this situation it backfired on me in my relationship with Gerry, because even though the club saved me contract, because they could have sacked me for it, they honoured my contract until the end.
And how long after that incident did you stay at Rovers before you came back to New Zealand?
6 years.
Oh wow!
So, but it was the catalyst for me to move into Asia, because even though Gerry, we shook hands on it, and he said what had happened was just spur of the moment, and we were both immature in fighting, and he said he would just look upon me as an ordinary player, which I took him at his word. But from that moment on, my ability to get in the first team was like limited around, I had to be on 100% match form, otherwise I wasn't in. And you know, so if there was somebody going to get dropped, it was me. And probably 7-8 months later, when we were in the middle of a season, I got dropped again, and I went and had a good heart-to-heart with Gerry, and he agreed to let me go on